Hello, I'm Patricia Parvi, astrologer and life coach. This video about 2025, an astrology forecast of the year ahead of us. And before I let you know how I've set up this video, I wonder your astrology sign. So would you please write me in the comment your astrology sign, that I'm Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and so on. Thank you very much. And let's see the structure of the video. First, we take a look at the numbers of 2025. So we'll see it from a numerology point of view. Then we'll see the tarot card of the year. After that, we'll check the energies, the main energies of the year, the slow planets from Jupiter and Pluto. I've already told you about these planets and this energy in my video called New Era. And then we'll see the lunar nodes. Both the lunar nodes, the north and the south nodes, are changing signs in this year. And then we'll have the chart of the year, which is always the chart when the sun steps into Aries, and this year it is 20th of March. And at last, we'll check the main aspects of the year and the main aspect configuration. And at this point, I have to say I found a very interesting aspect configuration. This configuration, almost the same, happened more than 500 years ago. So I will speak about a little from the past when it happened, and I will speak about the similarities of the two eras. So let's see the numbers of 2025. And we have number 2, and every year begins with 2, represents feminine energy, because number 2 is a feminine number. It's the number of the moon, and it symbolizes acceptance, emotions, passivity, adoption. 0 is completeness or emptiness. It depends on the point of view. Then 5. 5 is the number of Jupiter, which is very good, because Jupiter symbolizes growth, multiplication, expansion, luck, and fortune. I told you that is good. But Jupiter makes everything bigger and more. So it really does matter that we have many awful things or many splendid things. And if we add the numbers up, we have 9. It is the number of Mars. Mars symbolizes power, decisiveness, bravery, activity, but force, aggression, and war also. Every planet has a low and a high energy, high levels, and we can witness both in our world. If you ask, what will I witness? It depends on you, your way of thinking, your way of approach. On a high level, 9 represents the Hermit, and this is the tarot card of the year. What do you recall thinking of the Hermit? For me, it's solitude, probably isolation, but it actually symbolizes wisdom, self-knowledge, inner stillness, inner peace, finding our inner voice. The card symbolizes the retreat of the big hubbub of the world. If we see the card, we can see the hermit holds a lamp in his hand. And this lamp is the light of the truth, the knowledge. And the stick in his hand symbolizes the traveling toward the wisdom. So the card indicates you have to retreat to find your own path, and you have to do it on your own. Nobody else will do it for you. And now let's focus to the main energies, the planets of the year. In the New Era video, I've mentioned that we have many planets stepping into masculine energies, masculine signs from feminine ones. This will be Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto, but Jupiter is an exception. Jupiter steps into Cancer from Gemini in June of 2025, and Cancer is a feminine energy, representing feminine energy. So Jupiter in Cancer amplifies the emotions, the importance of family, home, homeland, motherhood, motherland, and nation. Let's see Saturn. Saturn changes sign in May of 2025 from Pisces to Aries. And when we have Pisces Saturn, we can witness the fear from deep emotions, fear of spirituality. But on the other hand, it motivates you, gives you a huge compulsion to take responsibility of your dreams, take responsibility for your spirituality. When Saturn steps into Aries, it can bring wise and responsible rulers, elderly rulers as well, but also inflexible hierarchical leaders. It can bring obstacles and fear of how we express ourselves, how we start things in our lives. But as I said before, it can give you a motivation to fulfill yourself, to reach your goals, to lead. Saturn is one of the dead planets. It can end things, so it can bring the fear from war, but the end of war too. And let's see Uranus. Uranus will step into Gemini from Taurus in July 2025. But it will have a little traveling back to Taurus in November 2025 till the end of April. Uranus is a planet of renewal, reforms, freedom, liberty and chaos also. So when it's situated, and when it will situate in Taurus, it brings reforms, renewal in the field of financial system, banking system, and also in the field of agriculture, because Taurus symbolizes the soil. And when Uranus steps into Gemini, it will reform communication, media, the knowledge, actually what the knowledge is, how we learn, what we learn, how we communicate, how we get the infos and how we pass them along, and how we travel. So it brings renewal, reforms in the field of travel methods, travel destination, including space, in the field of commerce, transportation, and freedom of opinion, freedom of speech will be more important issues in the next 7 years when Uranus will be in Gemini. Neptune is the next one. Now it's in Pisces, but at the end of March will step into Aries, but it will have also a stepping back to Pisces in October for a few months. When Neptune in Pisces, it amplifies the Pisces characteristics such as empathy, compassion, spirituality, sensitivity, art things, especially films, music, taking care of our environment, especially seas and oceans. But the other side of Neptune is idolize things and avoiding things, so we can avoid the sensitivity, avoid the deep emotions, avoid taking care of the things around us. And Neptune in Pisces also amplifies the alcohol and drug problems, addictions. And Neptune in Aries is the era of spiritual, religious leaders. But be aware, because some of them want to deceive us. Compassionate, selfless leaders can arise, but do not forget the other side of Neptune. It can idolize bravery, conquerness, initiativeness, decisiveness, war. But on the other hand, it can wash away the war, wash away old enemies, and enemies can be friends. And it can also bring disappointment in war, disappointment in conquer, in bravery. The last one is Pluto. Pluto stepped into Aquarius in November 2024, and it will remain here for 20 years. Aquarius has a rebellion energy. Last time when Pluto was in Aquarius, it was 250 years ago. It is the time of the French Revolution, and this revolutionary power will be here now. Pluto in Aquarius brings high and low level as well. So power of freedom, but also libertinage, power of uniqueness, but eccentricity and oddity, power of equal rights movements. Aquarius is a sign of friendship groups, so it can bring the power of little groups, communities, friendships, but on the other hand, it can cause dehumanization, isolation. I have to mention technical revolution, technical discoveries, medical discoveries, especially in the field of nerve system and longevity, robots, artificial intelligence, internet, blurring lines between human and machine. And here is also the nuclear power, invisible energies, radiation. Okay, let's see the lunar nodes. The lunar nodes, north and south, or ascending and descending ones. The south node is representing the knowledge and the behavior of past lives. And the north node means the soul mission in personal way, and where you heading. And in a mundal approach, it means where the world is heading. On 12th of January, the nodes will change signs. The North Node will step to Pisces from Aries. So we have feminine energy here. And we have the energy of empathy, sensitivity, selflessness. So the Pisces characteristics, as I've mentioned before. And we have this Pisces and Virgo axis, which indicates the opposition between emotions and rationality, spirituality and practical approach. And we've arrived to the chart of the year. As I mentioned, it is the chart when the Sun steps into Aries in this year, 20th of March. And if we take a look at the Sun in this chart, it's in a near conjunction with Neptune. So what does it mean? It means, first of all, that the power of the Sun cannot manifest the self-interest enforcement, definiteness, decisiveness so strongly. Neptune decreases the selfishness of the Aries, the force and the war. It makes it smoother and also fills with spirituality. Sun in the Mundal astrology is the symbol of leadership. And it won't be a surprise when I say spiritual leaders can arise, but leaders who avoid the responsibility, who deceive us, who blow smoke. In this chart we have Sun-Pluto sextile. It refers to the huge transformation in this year, and it symbolizes also meeting with our shadow self, the part of we are not so proud of. On a positive way, it symbolizes a consciousness, exercise of authority, exercise of power. In the chart, Venus and Mercury are retrograde, meaning obstacles of making peace and making money, obstacles in communication, travel, transportation, and commerce. Moon symbolizes the people. They seem to be generous and optimistic, and they have huge sense of justice. They can live by their ideas. And Moon connects to Mercury, which shows the travel, the flow of people, actually migration for a future, for the better future. And the Moon also connects to Venus, which means the importance of women's alliance. But due to retrograde Venus, there can be obstacles, difficulties in these alliances. In this chart, we can also see Saturn and Mars trine and Western Mars trine. It gives us the opportunity to renew our vows, our resolutions, shows responsible acts, focused power and acts for the families, for the nation, for the country, which moves by deep emotions. It also symbolizes the war for our country, but the end of the war also. I've mentioned in the beginning of the video the main aspect configuration of the year. And two members of this configuration are also here. They are connecting. These two are Saturn and Uranus. They are forming sextile. And we can see this aspect of March. We'll feel the effect of them through the year, but on a different way. Sometimes it is stronger, sometimes it is weaker. And the meaning of this sextile between Saturn and Uranus, that we have an opportunity to change our rigid structures, rigid rules, and it can bring light, recognition according to our fears. In the first half of the year, Jupiter connects with Saturn in quadrate, and it reflects the differences between I, myself, and the family, the home, the nation, and also between acts and emotions. Jupiter wants to expand. Saturn wants to tighten the purse strings, so it denotes the limit of the growth, of the luck, of the fortune, and it can amplify the fears, the injustice of the hierarchical, inflexible leaders. In the second half of the year, the main aspect is the Saturn and Neptune almost conjunction. They will be very close to each other, but it won't be a precise conjunction. They will meet in Aries in July, and this meeting brings us responsible spiritual leaders, wise spiritual leaders, idolized rigid leaders. We can see the washing away of old structures, old patterns in the field of leadership. And also Saturn and Neptune conjunction gives us the opportunity of harmonic binding of limits, rules, common sense with flow, spiritually, and dreams. But in this conjunction can wash away common sense, gives us smoke and mirrors, delusion, according to the end of the war, disappointment according of the war, and it can dissolve war methods. So many meanings of it. And when these two planets meet in Pisces, they have an opposite effect, because Saturn blocks the deep emotion, brings the fear of the deep emotion, and Neptune helps the flow of the emotions, so we can witness these opposite effects when they are in Pisces. And we can see illusion mixed with fears. And also in the second half of the year, Uranus-Pluto trine can be noticed. These two are also the members of the aspect configuration I've told you. Moreover, Uranus conjunct Sedna, and these three planets, Uranus, Pluto, and Sedna, are representing big change, big transformation, but in another way. So Uranus is a sudden change, chaos. Pluto is a transformation, a deep transformation. Sedna takes the non-working parts apart and join the same parts together, but in another way, to make them well functioning. And now let me speak about this main aspect configuration. The members are Uranus, Pluto, Sedna, Neptune, and Saturn. And I've mentioned that we had almost the same more than 500 years ago. Back then, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune connected with the same aspects. And if we travel back in history, the 16th century was known by two significant things, among others. First, 1492 is the discovery of America. So the 16th century was about the colonization of America, colonization of the New World. And in the 16th century in Europe, a new religion was rising, a Reformed church, Reformed religion. So we had a new word and a new worldview. And this new word and new worldview we can apply to our present era or our near future, 2025 and also 2026. Therefore, this configuration represents deep ideology change, radical change in the field of knowledge, communication, moving, traveling, migration, change in religion, spirituality, spiritual revolution, change of war methods, change of leadership methods, technological revolution which shakes up the society. So it is a huge opportunity, but it can cause also chaos and crisis as well. And which one, you might ask? It depends on you, your consciousness, your behavior, your way of thinking, your approach. What is pretty sure that huge changing will come. You have to use your adaptation, your flexibility to not only survive it, but to live with it. So I wish you a splendid 2025, and if you have any further question, please write to me. Below you can find my contact. Thanks for your attention and Happy New Year!